That's how we capture the love of our families. At the same time, the chain suddenly turns its head from the opposite side. Attack towards the leader in black. It startled him. Dare not despise. The black leader hurriedly put on his hands. But he didn't expect it. The chains carry so much force. He can't keep up the speed either. In the blink of an eye, he touched his chest. It makes an explosion. For a moment, everyone was stunned. Right now, again transmitted to the sound of the person who had just arrived. The old man is so miserable. What the hell is this? Except for 108 Smart Prodigy 3 Magic No. Wait until the dust clears. People just see a cold white male. Standing there, your right arm emits a demonic glow. My eyes look at everyone. Lei is the great butler of the lost family. Probably the most. Shocking tears see people coming. Breathed a sigh of relief. To remind the butler track. This guy is weird. You have to be careful. This person can switch between bad and real. Normal martial arts are useless to him. There is only one way to deal with the gods, to fix him. Hero is like that. In my eyes, I'm amazed. Look at the other a little. I finally laughed like it was all clear. He wears his tears. Everything is hard and then leave it to me. He said it best to move forward. Smirking left. The leader in black saw that and slowly came forward. The chains in his hands came. It makes the sound of nails. Like the sound of death. Everybody's a little bit of a rush right now. Staring at two people. The black doctor suddenly shouted at the leader. Will not fail. Master, master, champion, master, master, master. Probably the most humdrum mouth slightly tucked. Watch the person in front of you laughing. See, Kia's intuition is pretty accurate. Enemy, and send a master like you here. I thought, if you escort them, there will be no trouble. You are finally. I don't want to let the world fall into the hands of others. Later, the power of each side is very important. Of course, you can't leave your family alone. I look a little bit coldly at my best. The black leader waved his trembling hands. This strange power of yours reminds me of an old opponent. To dynamic blinking eyes, probably the most. I can see who is in his mouth. I can't help but laugh. Win or lose, if you lose, you're dead. Hear this word. The body of the leader in black too must not tremble. Angry scold the wild. At that time we lost. But it's up to you to win my dreams. He finished his words and waved his hand. Put the shackles. Attack on the left hand of the most powerful. And he's not afraid either. Still calmly stood there laughing and said he was cuckoo. I know my right hand is bad and I hit my left. Today a moment. Here chains hit in front of the strongest. Not far, his left hand suddenly changed into a dragon trowel. Caught the shackles in hand. The leader in black was startled to see this. Cry out in fear. Place long trowel. Probably laughing for an hour. Slowly pulling the chain towards me. Come here for the old man. What the leader in black sees his actions. exclaimed in surprise, not even waiting for him to react. Probably not to words. He threw the chain away and ran. The black shirt was also thrown away. Aggressive choking to the ground. A humming sound. A deep hole immediately appeared in front of everyone. Probably the most annoying smile. The Lord's people were not overjoyed. On the contrary, the black people shouted urgently. Domination. I didn't even wait for them to scream. A plume of black smoke in the blink of an eye, follow the big hole out. Aggressive rushing towards the most secure. I can't help but see this scene. Urgently cry out. The butler is careful. That thing can only use the original god to attack. Lao Tzu knows. The corner of his mouth held an evil smile in his hand that suddenly closed. Most likely, suddenly screaming. Friction 3 Absolute Third Consciousness You Demon Dragonian. Death Drag Carving Heaven. Following his scream. A long soaking sound echoed. But with the long image of the heavenly tears, it's a little different. Inside mixed with lightning. This death throttle, it's the most important thing to keep inside. No Ming prodigy he constantly practices. No matter how you use it now. This moment is most likely to attack the original god. Sound waves dance. Again add additional lightning. Become a trick, a desperate soul. Leader in black to eyes rolling amazingly. Fear cries out. What is this? Just for a moment, lightning eruption. Straight to the leader in black. He suddenly felt his head in constant pain. My whole body was thundered. Hidden as if to explode. Right now in everyone's hands. Then the sound of screaming to the paralyzed mind. The black smoke is like a headless fly. Fly back and forth. Wait until it stops. The black-clad ruler has weakened kneeling on the ground. Difficulty breathing. Most likely, he looked at the black leader. Smile with the devil's will. Now you know. Lao Tzu with your old rival Kier. Who's better? Heaven and earth of things thick mandarin shells with pointed nails. Don't think you have turned into a human form. If the devil is not like this, there is nothing he can do. What are you doing in the palm of your hand? You're just a demon. What do you look like? What do you know? The eyelids can't help trembling. The black leader couldn't believe it. The most certain look is a whisper. This one. This is a secret that has been passed down for 500 years. The old man is like that. Most likely, the arrogant man raised his head proudly. If you have reached the end of the world, Lao Tzu, I can't fight a normal match with you. Something that has no substance. There are so many ways to kill you. I can color in front of Lao Tzu and beat my people, haha. Don't dream of surviving. Just finished. The most obvious is suddenly a grin. The copper from the right suddenly flashed a yellow light. He screamed for an hour. No, the third magic is not. The word just ended. A devilish oscillation suddenly erupts. The black leader also. Black people don't know what happened. It feels like the whole universe is twisted. The sky is spinning. In the blink of an eye in front of them, the scene changed. It's all turned into a pale color. Both sides do not see AI. It's like going to a strange place. In the eyes do not shrink. The black-clad leader cried out in fear. This is war magic. When can you do it? When can you do it? Ha ha. This you don't need to know. Probably laughing for an hour. The shadow slowly appeared behind him. He also brought the evil smile. You turn yourself into a demon. It's like my perfect way back. Even though the demons switch between bad and real, half human and half demon is hard to catch. But at the same time, there is no flesh. God has no place to hide. It's so easy to get lost. The black dress rushed to the distance. Probably the most amazing look. But also, in the blink of an eye, he appeared again behind him laughing. Two eyes rolled in terror. The black man whispered for an hour. He didn't answer his question either. In the strongest of hands appeared a sword. Aggressive slashing too. Even your God can feel it. 100 times more than the average person. This can be considered an advantage. Suffering is the greatest disadvantage. The 409 is not just. A paralyzing reputation echoed. Black top leader full of cold sweat. Trembling, kneeling on the ground. The eyes that looked at the surest part of the world grew even more frightened. Once again, a small echo echoed. In the most evil hands appear again. The sword is pierced. Domination black shirt cool eyes shrink. Hurry up and avoid. Get out, but right now. A loud, aching voice flashed through my head. He couldn't stop screaming again. Turn your head and look behind. The most obvious one is no longer there. There was only a long sword on his back. You don't have to hide, even if it's useless. The corners of the mouth are slightly squinted. The most likely is a grim smile. You have discovered that this is an illusion. I told you. It's 100 times lighter than the average person. The downside is this place. But in this illusion, those who work do not leave traces like you. It's going to get even weaker in here. Time in here goes by very slowly. Don't think I cut you with 2 knives. But I'm afraid it hasn't been a second outside. Everything in the fantasy is fake. The only pain is real. When you can't take it anymore. It is also when your soul breaks. So what we've got is time to enjoy. I said, most likely. Suddenly the eyes condense. Flashed out a slightly waving evil ray. With a sharp blade in the blink of an eye. Plugged into the bosom of the leader in black. It made him unable to stop screaming. This place is illusory. It is like the existence of a god. No matter outside the leader in black. How many terrorists? An heir entering the scene. You can only wear the decider. Endure all the torture. There's not a bit of resistance. I heard a cry outside. Everyone was immediately stunned. God's grace cannot be withheld. The butler is so good. One eye is already white. The ant serum also nods. Sub-cartoonist tongue-in-cheek applauds this little monster. We can't catch up on horses. This moment. It's suddenly hard to realize one thing. You probably needed them to protect you before. But I don't know when. This boy has overcome them a lot. It's basically not the same level anymore. But right now, it's probably a little hard to bear. But the black people can stand it. Inside the battle to this extent. Aggressive little lip biting. If you keep this illusion going. It takes a lot of pure energy. In the illusory scene, he was stabbed with 3,600 knives and did not die. Right now, there was a scream inside again. The leader in black has been knocked out, lying on the ground. Then the dark air also melts. There is nothing inside. I can't help but laugh. It's about time. These demons have endured to the extreme. Of course, as the worst of all, every black person fell down one by one. Outside armor also quickly melts out, the dark gas as well thereby flies out, dissipated in the air. Watch as the spirit spreads. The best of the world looked at them all and breathed a sigh of relief. But it doesn't stop the last one. Hundreds of people in black scattered in the air. Only the black leader is left inside, holding my head screaming, "Bite your teeth patiently." The cold smile on my forehead was full of sweat. But it's still the same, using magic, surrounding the leader in black. A little less. I was a little short of killing him. I am the most confident in my heart, grinning my teeth patiently. But right now, suddenly a small sound tore the wind. A small stone shot in front of you most surely. He is not worried either. He held the stone for an hour of strength. It's not small. Take the opportunity to lead the black shirt lift Laura's feet. See this scene. Shocking tears screaming is not okay. Maybe the butler named Kier broke out. Lao Tzu knows. In the eyes unconsciously condense, the right pupil immediately flashed. Probably the loudest scream. No, the second miracle is not. His words had just ended an oscillation, turned into a pillar of light towards the leader in black. He was in a hurry to hide. But the tremor didn't go through. It made him feel a pain. Pain to the paralyzed mind. Unconsciously aggressive biting lips. The leader in black in his heart. He's gone. And he still has aftershocks, causing pain in his intestines and liver. This boy is a god. There is so much magic. As he said, he's much scarier than his old rival Kier. Probably a low-grade double-eye trick. Suddenly about one. I want to promote again. Black-clad leader threatened for fear. Turned into black smoke towards the people of Vangia. Probably most afraid of the Lord's people. The movement on the hands stopped. It's like finding a way to live. The black man couldn't help but laugh for an hour. Hand caught a small pupil flying away. Saved the lives of young Kier, panicked screaming for help. Most likely, the devil shouted. Put that person down for me. My family is sheltered by me. You think the old fool. Let him go. I will not be torn apart by you. I can't stand the cold for an hour. The leader in black carries the Kier away. Turn your head to big for sure. This time it looks like he is in the hands of the king. But it's not over. Soy Feng organic paint. We'll see you later. Wise life. Most likely, the person who left was angry. The Lord came to him with a sigh. Track the butler. It's just getting arrested. You don't have to blame yourself. I blame myself for that, but the words are still unfinished. The worst of the world spoke coldly. A wasteland. I can't wake up when I'm an adult. It's no big deal to have your blood stolen. We have to buy people's hearts. Later in front of the dung, you have to show a little pain. Blame yourself a little, as well as respecting them. People will be more confident. Volunteer to submit to us. Hearing this word, the heavens suddenly laugh softly. The tiger is not a tiger. A little does not change. In the heart of the calculation of benefits is always so clear. Except for 110 Devil Lin. Soon after, most likely, hurried towards the people of Vangia. Show self-blame. But the people of Vangia think that he really. There is a feeling of appreciation in my heart. Shocking tears see this scene. I can't help but shake my head and laugh. Tran and Van Ra a few sentences. Probably the most. Then he took out a medicine bottle. Give it to the people who cry. Not long after, 3 people are finally stable. Probably not in a hurry to leave. Decided to wait here for a while. Suddenly at this moment, tears tend towards the most suspicious or ask the butler. You said they were demons. What is it? In my eyes flashed a ray of light. Most certainly despise the lips. A bunch of poor people. But if we don't have to go to the end. No one wants to be a devil. You all have to know who's practicing. Only cultivation to turn the scene. They can unite God. The soul of outer space. Even if the body is destroyed, it can take the birth parasite. Hearing this, 3 people suddenly nodded. Of course they know this. The Lord is still in doubt, or ask again. But if it hasn't come to the end, the body is dead, it is difficult to accept the soul. If so, the body and soul are short-lived. At most 100 days will be spent dying. Most likely, he nodded deeply. That's not wrong. But religion still has a secret. May make the master not come to the scene. Soul travel outside, no body needed, can also absorb the spirit of heaven and earth that exists. This is the devil. 3 unconscious people with 2 eyes flashing. Be careful with your ears. Look at the expressions of 3 people, probably laughing for an hour. Keep explaining the meaning on your face. The devil, the devil, the devil of the world. People die when they become demons. The spirit is difficult to increase. Half human, half demon wandering around the world. It's no different than a walking corpse. So if you're not a person with a grudge, even death doesn't want to be a puppet like that. The devil is there to maintain the spirit. Every month we have to absorb a certain amount of the spirit. It must be some kind of spiritual punishment. That's why if they encounter someone in my magic, don't say anything. But if you meet the right person, in front of those people, they can only cut off their tail and run away. Whatever this kind of evil thing, killing a man is part of their merit. It works for them to practice their mental state. What crime not to do? 3 people who heard this suddenly blinked. See if you can understand a little more. The snow is still strange. But that's not true. Track the butler. He said, there are people whose great aspirations have not been fulfilled, turned into a demon. But this time we have so many. This world, not many people will know this secret. Before you die, you are still in your heart. Hey ha ha ha, it is created, not natural. I can't help but smile and shake my head. The most likely is laughing out loud. It seems that the enemy is also preparing the secret. That's why we force practitioners to turn into demons. So far, I've never seen this scene before. There's not a lot of martial arts to deal with the original god like this. It's really hard to deal with. But it's also good that it's hard to train a demon spirit. Even if you are a little careless, you will lose 7 completely. That's right, old man, you must know. The eagle takes the friction. Have you decided to train the demons? The success rate for Kier is much lower. Ha ha. Unconscious of fear, the 2 eyes suddenly closed. That's the rejection rate. It's hard for 100 people to have 1 living person. Today is not equivalent with the destruction of his 100,000 troops, Sao. It's like seeing his thoughts. Probably the second one is not laughing. You said that, so you said it. People don't have to worry about people like that. How much will the enemy have? Ha ha ha. But your butler can deal with them. Of course I don't see them. But we have no way of dealing with them. You have to teach it again. And Serum, I can see his disinterested appearance. Can't help but speak softly. Take a look at her. Most likely in different hands, laughing, say no, Sao. The devil is divided into 3 levels. The primary soul is like a normal soul. One idea is to destroy the high-class demons. There will be armor. They can stop some of the attacks. Just like the people in black. Although, you can't beat them in an instant. But it's easy to hurt them badly. Train demons to the highest level. Like the devil, is the hardest to deal with. You have to change martial arts. But there are very few players like him. I'm afraid it's just him and me. I just injured him. In a short time he won't show up. People don't have to worry. 3 people are done listening. This person is still lazy to teach them. Think about here, the ant serum rushed to entice him. It's like making a sound. Track the butler. Not the most afraid. The most afraid. 2 old men like the 2 of them aren't okay. My sister is proud. If you meet a crook. If it is destroyed, meet with AI to compensate. If you feel it now, I will reveal your law. So in the evening, will you knock on the door of the room? At night, you can teach whatever you want. Hear this word. Most likely unconsciously shrinkage the corners of the mouth muttered. The billion-year-old snow. It's high. Please respect the man you're with. Hi hi hi. The butlers are not your own people. The old man doesn't care. Sheep inflammation high, laughed he said. Shocking Tears saw sheep inflammation high on the one hand, unscrupulous. He also did not give up his shirt. Speak up loud and clear. The old man doesn't care. See this scene. Most likely, he hurriedly put on a sigh. All right, I'm afraid of you and I'll teach you a trick. Especially dealing with the martial arts class primogeny. Kill God only. Another dimension. Leader in black. After escaping the pursuit of the most mortal track. It's a swinging track. Not long. Appeared before a fast-flowing waterfall. He gently moved a small stone. The waterfall split in 2. Give him away. Slowly move in. Deep inside, someone was waiting for him. Waiting inside the fabric curtain. The black man threw the key on the ground. Then towards the fabric curtain. He knelt down and sighed. Retainer's work unsuccessfully punished. What 7 defeat Sao? Inside the fabric curtain, there's a majestic sound. Bring the surprise said. I can't wait for you to code yourself. That's 7-2. What are you doing that you are injured? His words had just ended a flicker of darkness. Don't wait for the person in the curtain to come out. He had the black leader swallow down a piece of medicine. Wait a minute. The air is stabilizing. Just turned towards the curtain of cloth to speak. Don't worry, old man. He's not a hindrance, he's just seriously injured. Needs some time to cultivate. What is seriously injured? You are seriously injured. The person in the curtain didn't believe it at all. That's what the Bible says. Weather of 3-Kier Pine. Probably doesn't have this ability either. Who is AI with such a capability? I can hurt you now. 411 Demon King. The black man pondered for a moment. Sighing again is sure. What does he have in mind? The area is not only empty. This time the old man was defeated in his hands. Not without laughing for an hour. The black leader shook his head. This kid is not simple. The old man thought that the secret of 7 transmitted 500 years ago. No one will be able to recognize the old man. The result was seen by him. He was even joked by him. If not the time, the old man took one of Vanra's men as a shield. I'm afraid this network is also private. Neck 3 Pine accept raw power from top to bottom. It's a weakness. But surely, except with power. There are no swords of the 3. Didn't find any drawbacks. An opponent like this was the first he had encountered. The person next to me heard that. My dad said no wrong. Not looking, I'm sure it's hard to imagine. No matter what technique he uses, he will destroy it. It can be considered perfect. I don't know what magic he used. Kim cut down the money. He seems to want to take his life. The old man knew that the enemy did not dare to step up. They can only mess up a fight. I am so lucky that the old man could escape. It turns out that you helped me. Why is he distracted? Is there a way for us to escape? Thank God the old man will return it. A little startled, the black-clad leader hastily embraced the power of thanks. For a while, the man inside the curtains spoke a few more times. The others are Sao. Dark-faced black leader sinks down. He sighed and said they were all dead. You killed. It's not physical. His eyes softened. The black shirt leader bit his teeth aggressively said, "This man is evil. Kill them without saying a word. It's less about the old man." Haha, he doesn't have less work for you. He's talking to us now. They don't want to tear their faces off with us. Told us not to find him a nuisance. The man in the curtain laughed in a cold voice. The two of you were a little stunned. The man in the curtain continued to speak. Must be so cunning. If he wanted to search, he wouldn't kill them all. If at first he wanted to kill everyone, then we can prove these guys are useless to him. He knows in his heart who we are. I just don't want to show my face yet. Pull out cloth curtain. The man behind it is the Emperor of Heaven. I heard this from the Emperor. The two people down there were screaming. Then the emperor spoke again. It's not just him. Probably after the high priest died. Jia-san field wind and impermanent leadership, cunning like that. They will soon suspect us. It's just keeping the balance. Don't want to face each other yet. Let the fisherman profit. If not today. God and the king are always at odds with each other. Why do we support each other? It's obviously fear of me. Take this opportunity to destroy them. It must be this. I couldn't see it before. He is a man of heart. Can be stretched. Even the previous opponent ignored the old story. He's the one who can do big things. The emperor suddenly laughed. It's just that inside the smile there's a lot of intensity. The black man who came after this also laughed off his disguise. It's the dragon guard. Looking at the emperor. The horse whispered. Your Majesty, now everyone wants to take Van Ra to the city. What should we be? The devil is dead. The old man was also seriously injured, cannot act in a short time. 3 great masters of the peanut family plus personality. I don't know who can fight them. This is what I'm angry about. Aggressive flapping tube sleeves. The emperor said in a deep voice. I just don't understand. What does the old man do with the lost family? Why is there? We've been able to change our neutral stance for over 1,000 years. But according to the world, I realize that I've tolerated enough. Even if the old man said, the Holy Spirit is the emperor, I never blamed him either. Because I know the third part of heaven. 3 parts by people. I am the dragon warrior. There is really no God willing to fight me. But now, he brought me back to the Lord for sure. Who is it? After death, the first thing to do is to capture people from his tribe. Away from my hand. It's basically selfish. I never thought of someone to take his place. People like this. Why does he dare to fall? The emperor has not finished. Has started coughing. Khan excitedly dominated. The black shirt said, Your Majesty. Gentle jacket hand. Wipe the blood from your mouth. The emperor spoke slowly. I am not Sao. I will definitely save the future. This steady and steady sky. The devil is one of the 4 pillars. They are the most trusted. It's also the most mysterious existence in the world. Someone who has met you. They're almost all dead now. Probably the exception. See, this fate can't be completely trusted. But I can't believe it. That boy is probably your rock. You will touch him less later. But Your Majesty. The Demon King was a little hasty and didn't dare to cry out. Not even waiting for him to finish. The emperor slowly sighed. This must be sinister. The power is so strong that it's unfathomable. If you can't do it, he became the eye of the storm. In the war, in the celestial world, can anyone confront him? Okay, listen to me, arrange. I just wanted to raise a tiger. Along with the Kier devouring beast. Help me strengthen Jiangshan. But who knows how to raise a dragon? A dragon that even I can't control. Probably ha 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 ha. It really turned into complex of ancient 3 Pine and Long Feng San family. It's become my serious event. The emperor sighed and turned. In his eyes flashed the light of 2. The face of two people is the same. The devil immediately stopped. Very unsightly. Who?